Yo, what's going on guys? It is a Lone Courier here and bit of a late night video, so yeah, apologise for in advance for being a little bit quiet, but everyone's asleep and yeah, just had to make this video because the latest episode of The Walking Dead, if you haven't seen it, spoiler alert, but Glenn is dead, or so we think. And the main purpose of this video is just to say why I think he is not dead, because if you look at it from what I'm about to say, you might see a different view of what happened. So yeah, I'm not saying that you think what you think is wrong, I'm just kind of saying, yeah, if you look at it from a different view, it might seem like he's possibly still alive. I don't know, but yeah, if you watch the episode again, you will see Nicholas fall on top of Glenn after he falls. Now, I'm going to highlight this in the video, well, not going to highlight it, but I'm going to try and show it off a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about here, but you can clearly see Nicholas fall on top of Glenn. Therefore, when Glenn is lying on the ground, Nicholas's body is on top of Glenn, shielding him from all the walkers that are surrounding them. Now, I know possibly one of them could have got in and possibly bitten Glenn, but what I'm saying is it's more likely that Nicholas's entire body was shielding Glenn, other than the face, obviously, because you clearly saw Glenn's face, but yeah. Also, another thing is he possibly may have gone under the bin, I don't know, the trash can for you Americans, but yeah, he was definitely shielded by Nicholas's body. You can definitely tell when you're watching it. Also, you could probably tell by just the colour of the shirt that's on top that you can see that's being ripped apart. I mean, it's a different colour from what Glenn's wearing. I mean, I'm not too sure, I haven't really studied it in depth too much, but you know, it just seems more like Glenn is still alive, because a lot of things that would have normally happened for any other character haven't happened this time. Say for example, usually on The Talking Dead, if someone dies, there's usually like a little memorial thing for them, you know, like, I'm not too sure, I don't really watch Talking Dead. And also one thing I read recently was on Forbes magazine's website, and it was talking about how also on The Talking Dead you usually have the actor slash actress who has died on the show, but Glenn wasn't on as a guest, therefore he's still in the series technically. Now, the only thing I need to confirm that he is still alive and still in the program is if his name is still used in the opening credits for the next episode. If it is used in the credits, then he is definitely still alive. You may be thinking that's a bit crazy, you know, that's kind of like a tinfoil hat type conspiracy theory, but you know, usually when a character dies, they're just completely taken out of the name. The only character that wasn't, was that I can think of off the top of my head, was with Beth. She wasn't taken out for a couple of weeks, but you know, with Glenn, I am going to assume that he is still alive, and if his name is still in the credits, the opening credit sequence, that he is still part of the show. So yeah. Also, with the no guest on the Talking Dead show, that kinda says that he's still alive, you know, because Stephen Yeun wasn't on. I don't know if I probably mispronounced his name, not gonna lie, but you know, he didn't guest on the show, so I'm going to assume that he is still part of the show, which means Glenn's still alive, he's not dead. So yeah, I hope that's definitely confirmed some stuff for you guys, because you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was one of the saddest things I've ever seen in The Walking Dead. You know, like, I was watching it and I was just like, you know, I don't think I've ever had that much like rage from seeing a character die from since when Herschel died. But you know, like, Glenn has been in the series since like episode 1, so it'd be a bit of a shame if he actually died, but yeah, he probably didn't. So yeah guys, hope you enjoyed the video. It's been The Lone Courier. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'm probably going to put up some more videos talking about The Walking Dead in the future. Also, a few other things I want to talk about here and now, just before I sign off, is Rick. In the comic book series, Rick has only one arm. It was the governor who cut off his other arm, but I'm possibly thinking they might try and follow this story arc right now in the show. You know how when you see Rick get that slice on his hand from the machete that was stuck inside the walker, and you know, if his hand gets all infected and stuff, he might have to amputate it or something. And if they do that, that'll be pretty cool, because it'll be following the comic book story, but not really saying I want Rick to lose an arm. But yeah, it's a possibility, but you know, also Glenn's not even in the comic book series anymore. I'm pretty sure he died quite quickly, so you know, everyone's kind of saying, oh well, he's probably dead because he died quite quickly in the comics. Well, the show hasn't really followed much of the storyline from the comics anyway. I mean, like, Michonne, she is totally different from the comic series. I mean, especially what happened with her in Woodbury. So, you know, also a lot of other things are just completely different from the comics to the show. So there's a good chance that Glenn's probably not going to get killed off just now. I'm only saying that because there is like a possibility that he could die in the future. You know, it's The Walking Dead. It's a zombie apocalypse based TV program. Anybody could die at any given moment, so you know. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Been a bit of a late night upload, so yeah. It's just really rushed because I had to just get it out there as quickly as possible. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. It's been The Lone Courier. Peace out.